Welcome to Writing as Inquiry, which we will also call Walking as Inquiry, as we explore Shanghai, sometimes in groups, sometimes individually, seeking to encounter objects and sites and phenomena of interest worth including in our research and writing. We'll be zooming out, we'll be zooming in, we'll be thinking about the global, we'll be thinking about the local, we'll be thinking about large-scale phenomena, as well as our own individual experiences and observations of those. Here, for example, we're looking at a blog post that a former student in this class, Tim Liu, contributed about a neighborhood in Puxi, west of here, where his family had grown up, which is being redeveloped, or renewed, as they say, right? So he writes about the history of the place and about some of the socioeconomic divides that he sees being an issue as we think about urban renewal. Other students have also written about this topic. As you can see, this does not mean that you personally will write about this topic. It's an easy one to write about in some ways because Shanghai is changing so fast. But you might write about almost anything. We'll be going out into the city and looking for inspiration, looking for objects. We'll be zooming in and zooming back out, not just thinking about what we see in the streets, but how it connects to larger scale phenomena, economic, social, socioeconomic, historical, and political factors, and on and on. It will be up to you to come up with this framework and focus for your own project in the end. Hi, I'm David Perry, and I'll be your instructor for this semester in writing or walking as inquiry. I'm sorry I can't meet with you today, but I've contracted COVID. I'm on my way to recovery, and I expect to be with you on Thursday. I'll tell you a little bit about myself and about the course in this short video, and then in a second video, introduce you to your first assignment for the class. I've been in Shanghai for 17 years, on and off, and I've been at NYU Shanghai since the beginning. I've taught in the writing program the entire time, so I've taught writing as inquiry and POH many times. I also teach creative writing courses, and if you have interest in creative writing, feel free to let me know. This class is not a creative writing class. This is a class in academic writing, but we take a unique approach. We're thinking about how you can sharpen your skills as a writer by beginning with your own direct observations, which means we go out into the city to actually look, listen, and record before beginning to do library research, before beginning to think specifically about what kind of academic or conceptual framework we might bring into play to analyze a specific thing, a very specific thing that we develop an interest in as we explore the city. To help us do that, we will be using the work of a man named Paul Salopek, who some of you may already be familiar with. He's been working with NYU Shanghai for the last several years as he's walked across China as part of his larger Out of Eden project, in which he's walking from East Africa all the way through Asia and ultimately to the very southern tip of America. Paul's already collaborated with students in this class as well as students in the program for creativity and innovation, and with the Institute for Contemporary Art at NYU Shanghai. He's done a lot of other work too, to share his insights, his skills, his knowledge as a writer, as a storyteller, and as a writer and storyteller who thinks both in terms of the very specific, what are you looking at? What are you describing? And how he might interpret it in a different cultural or scientific or economic, social, political framework. bringing these different frameworks into play to tell stories in unique ways that go beyond the story about meeting an individual person in a specific place to thinking about how that person became who they are, what that place is, and how it became what it is, and what we might learn about ourselves and one another from thinking in these terms that are simultaneously zooming in, very focused, specific, concrete, and then zooming out to use abstract concepts to, again, analyze and interpret in different ways. So, in this class, practicing all of that and different types of research to help you develop your own individual, unique research project by the end of the class. Start on the streets of Shanghai, and we'll end up in the library. And ultimately, you'll do an academic research paper, but you'll start with writing that is designed to be shared online in our course blog. So it's an exciting class, I think. I hope you enjoy it, and look forward to getting to work with you in person as soon as possible. So now let's talk about the basics. How will this course actually work? We have a Brightspace page, of course. We won't use it a lot. Although I have this first assignment posted here, it actually connects to Google Doc, which you will also be able to get to from the syllabus. And generally, although you can use Brightspace to access the syllabus, it will probably be more convenient for you to access the syllabus directly, and I will share this with you. Brightspace is not as good for us with regard to the collaboration that we want to do as Google Docs will be, so we will primarily be using Google Docs and folders. Now, let's take a look at the syllabus quickly. We'll go over this more in person. As you can see here, you can email me. That's the best way to get in touch. You can also set up a time to meet in person during my office hours, which are every Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 5. And it's quite easy to go in and book an appointment. This is better than just dropping in, because if you book, you'll have priority over anybody who might just drop in. So what else can you find in this syllabus? Well, everything that you'll need. Okay, so this one document really has everything, including guidelines, how to submit work, information on your grading, right, scale, and how everything is graded, what our individual units will be. I'll go into more detail with you on that Thursday as we get started on Unit 1, where we'll be working to do some walks, discover and explore parts of Shanghai, and use that as a basis for developing a line of inquiry and doing some writing that we'll put on the course blog that I've showed you already. You can find the course schedule here at the end. Please observe that this is not final, and I will likely be making significant changes, but you get a good sense of what is coming up as we move forward. I'll also be inviting you to join this course blog, where you can find many examples of work that past students have done in the past. Okay, we'll be using a Google map. We might switch to a better map if we can, but it's a bit of a process to track and tag places we explore, right? So you'll be adding your own pins to go with these stories that other students have created, okay? We'll be practicing some interview techniques, and here you can see that Liu Yihan talked to a security guard. Now, if you're not a native Chinese speaker, don't worry. You won't be expected to do that kind of work necessarily, but you might work with a classmate to help you, or find some other way to bring your subjects into the story as you explore aspects of Shanghai that you find of interest. Don't get too worried about the specific idea of writing about Shanghai. Your interests are your interests, and you might end up, if you're a finance major, finding some way to write about the economy and aspects of finance, whether they have to do with real estate or e-commerce or something else. If you're a marketing major, of course, the city is full of advertising and marketing initiatives that permeate pretty much every square block, right, of the city. If you're interested in history, that's there. If you're interested in emerging technologies, if you're interested in ecology, the environment, you can find ways to write about pretty much anything in the city. And you'll be encouraged to do that moving forward as you think about going from our initial explorations to developing a research proposal, which is a big writing task for Unit 2, and then finally that actual research essay. Note that it's not a straight line from Unit 1 to Unit 3. You might begin thinking that you're going to write about one thing. You might develop a research question that's related to that initial idea for recognizing that you have a different topic by the time you get to your final essay. Okay, so you're not locking yourself into anything in Unit 1 that you have to then pay off in Unit 2. We'll be using some specific shared academic frames of reference and concepts. We'll be thinking about urban geography. We'll be thinking about ethnography, and other sort of terms will come to us, including the term slow storytelling from Paul Salopek and others. As we explore this kind of mode of direct observation, description, engagement with a specific subject, and then movement into library research, discovering more to sort of frame something we're interested in, and develop our research and writing in that manner, starting from the specific, the things that we ourselves see directly, observe, hear, right? And then beginning to explore, oh, what might this mean? What is the history? How is this used? What economic possibilities exist here to that? And I'll be working with you all individually and in small groups to help you develop your own topics over the course of the semester. All right, that's all I'm going to say by way of introduction. Once again, I'm sorry that we can't meet in person today. I do hope we can meet on Thursday. Do let me know if you have questions. Email is the best way for now, and I look forward to meeting you all in person. Thank you, and have a great week.